Mother's Day has come and gone, and I would just like to shout out all the moms out there for doing such a good job with your children, and to also let you know that I will be coming to collect that breast milk that you have saved for me, but I won't be staying because Leon is a stepdaddy to nobody. And with mothers being at the forefront of the conversation for this video, I would just like to ruin it just a little bit for you by always letting you know as a subtle reminder that maybe, just maybe, your kid needs some help. Maybe they need a strong figure in their life. Maybe they need a little bit of motivation to not do something dumb or something criminal, because you never truly know what your kid is up to 100% of the time. And as a parent, and you could absolutely disregard what I'm about to say because my kids are currently drying up on the wall over there, I wouldn't be someone who would look at my child struggling and condone their struggles. I would do my best to uplift them and tell them that, some things suck sometimes, but they won't suck all the time, because one bad day doesn't equal a bad life. What I wouldn't do is, in the moments of my child clearly showing signs of violence, I wouldn't participate in helping them act out potential acts of violence, because maybe, just maybe, that'll end up with me getting arrested along with my child.
Tonight's top story, a mother and son arrested after investigators say the child was plotting to shoot up his middle school.
The mother is accused of supplying her son with ammo and tactical gear. The student, who goes to Rhodes Middle School, reportedly told a family member he was, quote, going to be famous.
Tonight, KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna is following this story. Megan, what did investigators say was found at the family home?
Well, Henry Easties, according to the arrest warrant, a relative found a loaded magazine, an improvised explosive device, and a note listing the names of mass shooters.
I think the world is getting scary.
Parents at Rhodes Middle School are disturbed but relieved after a student was arrested for a terrorism charge Monday. According to this arrest warrant, the student's mother, Ashley Pardo, is accused of supplying him with ammunition and tactical gear.
For a mother to do that, it makes me feel like, what kind of mother is she to be supplying her children with that?
The warrant states this January, the student was caught with drawings that included a map of the school and a rifle. Then in April, it states he was caught researching mass shootings on the school's computer. He was suspended, then sent to an alternative school, but returned back to Rhodes May 8th.
It feels terrifying.
Then on Monday, investigators say the child told a relative he was, quote, going to be famous before leaving for school. The relative then searched his room and found ammunition and an improvised explosive device with "For Britain Tarrant" written on it. Tarrant is a 2019 New Zealand mosque shooter. The student allegedly showed up to school with tactical pants, a camo jacket, and mask, but left before police showed up. They eventually arrested him off campus. His mother reportedly told the school she was not concerned with her son's behavior. Parents questioned what would have happened if that relative didn't speak up.
I thank God and I thank her for that, because anything could have happened. You don't know. I could have lost my daughter,
And that mother posted a $75,000 bond tonight. Meanwhile, the child is still in custody.
I find it disastrously fucking moronic and demonic that someone could look at their child and visibly see their child on a routine basis struggling, whether it be with bullying, insecurities, anything, and look at that child, talk about and do research and find out that their child is looking up things that they shouldn't be looking up, and they're having some intrigue with that, and they're saying, you know what? Let me buy you some army gear real fast. Let me buy you some ammunition. Who knows what you're going to use it for? Let me just make sure that I'm being the responsible parent here and making sure that you have all these things to carry out your acts of violence. Maybe, and this is just like guessing. Don't take this with any form of reality. Take this as somebody who's just throwing out a random guess that they shouldn't be. Maybe this woman thought, the best thing to do is to teach the responsibility of how to use these things. And maybe you'll learn that there's a right and a wrong way to to operate in terms of your emotions and with guns. But because I live in a world where that's not really the strongest possibility, and we got school shooters who just pick up their parents' gun out of thin air, just go to the school and run roughshod, yeah, that's not really the strongest case. It's not something that's happened too many times, but there are small examples where a kid goes and acts upon violence upon other people, and then the parents also get sent to jail with the motherfucker. And I'm glad to see that's starting to be a trend that needs to ramp up more and more and more. Because if you are a legal gun owner, you should be locking that thing up where your kid can't gain access to it. I don't care if you gotta buy a $50 gun safe. I don't care if you gotta create your own gun safe. Make sure that wherever your legal gun is, your child doesn't illegally pick it up and have their own fun with it, because it doesn't make any fucking sense for you in the long run, because your reputation's gonna be shot. There's the potential that you may go to jail with your son, and what better bonding experience could it be to be locked up in jail with your son as he watches you get a nice Pop-Tart on your bedsheet from Big Tyrone. Hopefully you don't eat it, because Tyrone's gonna want that back, and you're not gonna have a Pop-Tart back, and your son's gonna have to see you offer up something for that Pop-Tart. What that something is, I will not say, because I'm certain someone's child is watching this video. But what I will say to end this video is that if you're a parent and you notice your child struggling, all you gotta do, I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, I know there's a little bit of trauma from your lifetime growing up, but you know the best thing you could do is be a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen to, because maybe that'll be the positive thing that allows your child to see that the world isn't as bad as we, the current generation, have ruined it for them, and maybe they could navigate how to go about things in a different manner and not say, hey, fuck it, I'm considering taking people's lives. Thankfully, we had somebody who was an actual adult in the room say, yeah, let's not have this be something, and let's phone this into a couple people. And thankfully, no lives lost. Thankfully, no tragedies. And I believe the most important, thankfully, no pointless fucking conversation about who could have done the shooting, which leads to none of us actually caring about the shooting, a bunch of think pieces out the wazoo, and we all sit there, twiddle our fingers, and we do nothing while we wait for the next one to occur so that the cycle repeats all over again. Why? Because there really is no way to solve this problem unless you have complete trust in humanity, and as far as I'm aware, none of us have that shit whatsoever. But in the meantime, I suggest, again, not a parent, this is just random onlooker giving his thoughts, everyone be mindful that there's a struggle in dealing with being alive in this current climate. And you know, people are dealing with their own struggles. You may demean their struggles, but that doesn't mean that their struggles aren't something that they have to think about all the time. And if you're a child and you need just like a little reprieve, hopefully your parents will be there for you, and they will be that pat on the back to steer you in the right direction instead of buying you ammunition and willingly pushing you in the wrong fucking direction. But again, I'm not a parent. My kids are currently drying up on the pillowcase right now, and I'm gonna go put them in the washing machine so that they could fully be eradicated from this earth. But in the meantime, I will see you all in the next one. Subscribe. Mwah. Goodbye.